Is soda or liquor a worse vice? Okay, that's a tough question. In the long term, assuming moderate use, soda. But liquor has the capacity for immediate catastrophic result. That's just how it goes, man. Um, if you drink very moderate liquor consumption over your entire adult life, there are actually several health benefits to it. Typically with either hard liquors or wines, I guess. As you get down into having more other shit in there, like beer, you add tons of calories and sugar. But if you're just talking the hard liquors and having 1 to 2 drinks every night or every other night, you're going to be pretty good shape. If you keep drinking a bunch of soda, I mean, you're constantly consuming just a shitload of sugar and a bunch of other chemicals. And the caffeine and the sugar, man, they are brutal on your body. But that being said, neither of them are great for you. It's actually it's a weird thing. I mean, it's not weird because people like it so much, and it's highly, even if not addictive, it's highly appealing. Do you agree with the statement that letting kids drink soda is worse than letting adults drink liquor? Probably. The amount, or liquor is just such a highly appealing beverage to people. Addicting for some, appealing for basically everyone else. They can't get rid of it, right? They tried with prohibition, did not work, obviously. It caused massive problems. But the shit that they do outlaw is so much less bad for you than alcohol that it's crazy. Because it's unreal how much less bad a lot of illegal drugs are. And the main risk of a lot of illegal drugs is actually the other shit that goes in them. A lot of times. Obviously, opiates are different. Opiates are dangerous just as opiates. But I'm talking like, cocaine and ketamine and shit like that. It's the other stuff that they put in them, because these things were medicinal treatments for a very long time. And, going with fentanyl and opioids, but opium was a medicinal treatment, very effective painkiller, very mild on its own. It's just so addictive that people would just pound it down. But these other substances are way less bad for you than alcohol, as long as they don't have other shit in them. It's the other shit that they cut into them, usually an opiate, that puts people at real risk. But when you read about the actual negative side effects and health effects of these things, it's almost always the risk of other additives that really kick it up a notch. And not saying that they're good for you. Not saying that these are good things for you to consume. Just saying that they're less bad than alcohol. And it's how is this one legal and these other ones not legal? If you take stimulants, for example, things that are not illegal but not street legal, like Ritalin, Adderall, stuff like that. Or even you go to the extreme of something like cocaine. They've done plenty of studies of the impacts on driving of those stimulants, and they produce better drivers. So it's the crazy thing is, alcohol produces terrible drivers and stimulants produce better drivers. So that's an interesting problem to have. And yet, if you were to be pulled over and somehow tested for cocaine or something like that, that would be driving under the influence. If they determined that your driving was in any way erratic. And then you would be charged as if it was alcohol, even though that would not have likely been a contributing factor. Now, I guess if you rail 16 lines of coke and you turn into Superman, you rip your shirt off and you get in a car and drive at 100 miles an hour because it's cool, maybe that's not it. maybe that's not the way, brothers. There's always a peak of things where the benefits become reduced, we'll say. But yeah, it's kind of wild to see how our country has treated this stuff, and a lot of it is just based on money and influence. I, for one, am not suggesting that alcohol be made more illegal. I, for one, am suggesting that other drugs be less illegal, because I just don't see the government's role in preventing the sale or usage of something privately. Again, we have laws that prevent children from being served alcohol or given, shit like that. We have laws that punish that stuff. So we recognize that there is some ability to regulate based on, age and the ability to consume and mental development and all that stuff. So it's not suggesting like, wow, you just want to give kids to heroin to kids or whatever. It's like, well, not really. Bush says long distance fighter jet pilots take go pills, which are some kind of cocaine riddling crap, so they stay lit and focused instead of crashing. They used to take Provigil, and they may still take Provigil. It's modafinil, which is not cocaine or Ritalin. It is cool. It is very fucking cool. It is non-narcotic, and it is this great substance that keeps you awake and alert to very high levels, and you can take a lot of it. I have a 200 milligram prescription, which is the lowest dose, but they can prescribe like up to 600 milligrams for people, and the side effects are literally just a headache. And it's wild how effective it is and how long people can stay on it. Just to go ahead and put it out there so everybody understands, don't do illegal drugs. That's a good thing of advice. It's not about should people do illegal drugs. No, you should not do illegal drugs. The question is, should these things be illegal from a policy standpoint, from a liberty standpoint? The answer is, why should they? How does the government justify intervening in what you ingest into your own body? And they always say, the answer is always this. Well, we have to pay for their care when they become addicted and take over. And the follow-up question to that is why, though? Why do we have to pay for opiate addiction? Why do we have to do that? And then the next is, well, they might, under the influence, kill someone else. And we go, so? Why is that a thing? Why is what someone does that ends up harming someone else the justification for not allowing something? Because like driving, you might irresponsibly drive and kill someone. With a gun, you might shoot someone. You might stab someone. You might, with alcohol, you might kill someone. Some people go into a rage when they get too drunk and they beat people, like spouses or children. People hyped up on nicotine or looking to get nicotine might cause damage to others. This is not justification for making something illegal because someone might get harmed incidentally because of that. It's weird that those are the only two justifications people can come up with. Because the other one, like anything else might be, well, like someone might overdose and die. Well, it's too fucking bad. Like, again, too fucking bad. There's a lot of stuff you might be able to kill yourself with on accident. And it's like, Sacred Clown says, I did take Molly a bunch of times, which had meth in it. Did it have meth in it, or are you inferring that it had meth in it because it has a type of meth in Molly? The type of meth in Molly is not methamphetamine. It's not the same chemical combination. It doesn't have the same negative effects as methamphetamine. For example, people who do shitloads of Molly don't lose their teeth. They don't get meth mouth or those other issues. It's quite a different substance, even though it's similar. And it is akin to or related to meth, but it's, unless your Molly was actually cut with meth, then it's different. Here's the question. Do we care if someone overuses meth and fucks their life up and dies? Like, I mean, not do we care? As a philosophical question, yeah, you kind of care. But like as from a government standpoint, why do we care about that? Why is that a thing that people are concerned with from a government policy standpoint? People make their own choices and they get the consequences of those choices. I just don't understand why we are policing morality to the level that we are. You care if someone takes a bunch of meth, fucks your life up and dies, who the hell is going to pay for that? I mean, but that applies to everything. Like if you say that to meth, you say that to alcohol, right? Like you're much more likely to get killed by a drunk driver, have your family wiped out by a drunk driver than you are by a meth head. And I think meth is terrible. It's a horrific drug. I would never even dare fucking take it. It's not even out of curiosity. Not even someone said, this is one time perfectly safe. No, thanks. That's disgusting. Would never even touch the shit. But I don't care if someone else does. It's weird. It's weird that the drug thing has become such a powerful piece of rhetoric. Just look at how hard it has been to get marijuana to start being legal. They're about to reschedule it down to a class 3 controlled substance, which is the first good move the federal government has made. But just look at how long it took to undo the fucking propaganda. Like, look, don't take weed because it makes you into a retard, like while you're on it. That's why I don't like it. It's funny. You can smoke a little weed and you can get high and you can have like a chill night or whatever. But the people who get wrapped up in doing weed all the time, make it their lifestyle, they get annoying. I'm not the hugest fan, but it's funny on occasion. But Jesus, like, it is not that bad for you. It is nowhere near as bad as liquor or cigarettes. It's nowhere near as bad as sugar and caffeine. They're like, but it's been one of the most illegal drugs, the highest classification forever. And it's like, okay, I guess. It's weird. The propaganda on drugs has been so strong that people just believe everything about them still. They still do. And the level of hypnosis on them is crazy. Yeah, Urchin. They blasted that anti-drug propaganda into your heads in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, man, DARE was crazy. I still remember DARE shit. It stuck with some people so well. But, you know,